The Way of the Boxer. We're watching your party fall apart. A party started by Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana in England. And the brighter ones among us say, for instance, quote, don't start a party democratically. Get a charismatic leader, a talented leader, and end quote. So, who is our Animal Farm Napoleon? I'm far away, I'm not in it, but I do understand we are our habits, and these habits have failed. These particular habits, from the Soviet Union to Bernie Sanders. I remember the book, Animal Farm, and Boxer, the big loyal horse, was to me the most interesting character. He still is. He ends up tragically or atrociously victim of atrocity, not tragedy. But his dignity just left the pigs, to me, in the dust, and so it remains. He was essential, of essence, while the rest seemed scarce half made up. So it seems we have become what we always were, half, seeking the rest in our loves and cars and politicians, and rejecting the whole wholly. I don't know why Boxer was so whole in my imagination. I don't know whether it was his culture, but I am very alarmed by the willing leadership we have. Their ambition seems to come from something incomplete in them, and therein lies a tale. The everyman, I suppose, the chirping classes want to ignore, so convinced are they of the division of their essential talent worldview, them that look and sound like them is blatant. They are opining on the subjects for a living that provides a nice home somewhere in or near London, or perhaps have a rather inflated read of their own talent. We are our habits. I'm pretty sure George Orwell did not make up Boxer because he saw the boxer at rest by Apollonius of Athens around 329 BC, but he might have done. This is my notion of charisma. Definition of charisma is in that piece of art. This piece expressive of all humanity, where the Michelangelo David might be Aaron Bastani's choice. Arrogant, remote, perfect, typically Renaissance, ruling 1800 years later. One in frosty marble, the other in dark bronze, with even the cuts and bruises of the sport, the loose hand wrap, looking up at an angle, not down upon the place beneath. I'm not claiming conscious intent here, just that they seem each to reflect what their worlds were thinking at the time, and I identify with the Boxer world, while the rest of us are stuck with David. We are the pigs of Orwell. All our fussing and status waving from the crowd, pick me, like Oscar contenders. Then we wake bewildered that a Stalin is in charge, the one who wanted it most, as an American would say. But why are we bewildered? Fascist? Why not? Fascism is supremacism in crowds. The Western world has been fascist for 500 years, graduating from despotic with the high-end cocktail party in disguise it calls democracy. Not a criticism. You are what you are. You have a big ugly nose. Denying you have one doesn't make it beautiful. The amazing charade of aghastness at the Reform riots, as if the UK had been some model of racial openness since Alfred the Great, as if the affluent had stood on Hampstead Heath and cried, "Let them come." I think I was 15 when I read Animal Farm. I've never forgot it. I haven't read it since. So much better than 1984. But see, in 1984, we're all victims of them. In Animal Farm, we are the victimizers and the victims. It's everything. I don't marvel at Orwell. I'm very grateful for him. But he seems like a natural conduit. Somebody had to do it. We cannot live by Tennyson alone. But we do our pedestals, don't we? Our statues. We are our habits. Burmese Days was the most enduring of the ones I read, like Dharma Bums lasts longer than On the Road. I think The Boxer at Rest has been called the defeated boxer, which again speaks volumes of this namer, particularly probably a fan of Michelangelo's Narcissus. The boxer looks like the winner as much as the loser, but neither seemed to matter to Apollonius. He might have been a boxing fan like I am. In every bout, almost every, something has been achieved by both, something numinous, while Snowball and Napoleon sit out front in bling and cigar smoke, small fellows of the babbling charisma class, I guess. Next, someone will say Blair had charisma. No, he looked like you, like Thatcher looked like them. Not really the same thing. I do not know what's up with this, but nobody does. Ever. This falling apart of a party not only well made, but necessary right now. The two battle lines arrayed quite quickly after Labour and their Tories gasped their last breaths of meaninglessness. Reform and your party. The new world where the real arguments might be had. I'd have called Jeremy or Zara and said, let's clear this up. Our arguments are so vital, our differences so trivial, but there I have it wrong. The differences are not trivial. Somehow, English lefties remain staunchly racist and misogynist, unless Zara is oversensitive, but I have an inkling that politicians as a habit cannot see the mirror for the trees. Like bad actors, they cannot ignore the mirror and dress for it and speak to it. I wish I thought otherwise. I wish I saw otherwise. I wish Fred Hampton had survived. The trick of rhetoric lets the wrong people in. Bastani bemoans that Corbyn never wanted to lead. Well, that would be a great thing. That might have been a great thing, except the jealous who do want to lead, to hear their own voices rise to the top. Therefore, and we listeners have listened to their self-advertising for so long we no longer understand the language. Back to Boxer. In the talks about Jesus I've not heard the story that he is the animus, that as we have an anima, an unconscious woman men dream of that protects them. If you haven't had dreamt her or remembered that dream, you're in for a treat. We have the male, the animus, for the woman. Jung describes this as a sort of marriage motif. Man finds her, she finds him. But I experience this as another thing. Men have in them a shadow unconscious man, too. Not who cares for them, but who they would be, the shadow man. There's one in all of us, of course, but we do not aspire to be him. We only look for him. And when we find him, we worship him. It's pathetic. Like Hamlet's mum says, do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. She goes on to say he is dead and it is common, but the boy needs to become the father, not look for him. The shadow man he imagines is the father. To say, to this Hyperion is a satyr, and on cue, Claudius is the prototype of our leaders. For us, really, look at me, the pigs in Animal Farm. There is no boxer in Hamlet, but Hamlet himself is the closest. I could be bounded in a nutshell, but count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams. Shakespeare is preoccupied with pigs only. Ah, well. And Orwell gives us Napoleon, Stalin, and in Snowball, Trotsky, today's Republican and Democrat, but clearly both pigs, and member of the Bastani power-coveting charismatics, while Boxer is ignored and doesn't care.